Hey guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with the DreamHack tournament held in Valencia in 2022. I found a great engagement, a great best of 5 series here in between MARU and Dark. So once again, let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As we have spawning here in the upper right in the blue, it is MARU, and his opponent spawning here in the lower left in the red, it is Dark. As spawning here on the ESL map Waterfall, I believe it is a 2 spawning location map. So yeah, let's just see what exactly they have prepared for us. The games have been played very recently, 2022, in the month of July. So luckily I did find the replays which have been finally posted. And of course I want to start with one of the strongest engagement here in between these two pro South Korean players. So yeah, let's see exactly what they have prepared for us. Dark opening up pretty standard with a fast hatch. Let's have a look at MARU. I believe he has already built his supply depot, and there his barracks with his gas. So you're pretty standard open up. Dark already having his overload out. Interestingly, he's not just checking those proxy situations here for MARU, even though MARU is pretty much known for his proxy barracks harassment, but still Dark pretty much normally scouting here the map, and his overload is pretty soon going to make it here towards the base from MARU. Let's have a look if MARU is going for a Reaper harassment or two. Might also go for double Marine, just like Beyond has shown us in between Serral. And no, actually MARU plays it standard with that first Reaper just to harass the expansion point from Dark. Dark of course continuing with a fast extractor and into spawning pool, so pretty sure that he's going for some Zergling with Zergling speed. He might even try to harass early on the expansion point from the Terran. Meanwhile, finally MARU sending his first scout. He sees of course the expansion, so he knows that no such an early harassment is coming towards his way, so he should feel really confident with his expansion here. There's the overlord from Dark scouting of course the proximity, also checking the expansion from MARU. And yeah, MARU interesting enough going for a factory. This could be a 1-1-1 build order, so one barracks into one factory and into one starport. Of course a much needed starport for the Terrans, as they do like to do their drops with Marines, with Hellions, even with Widow Mines and so on. Now the first Marine is also out. Let's check Dark really quick. There is his second expansion at the 6 o'clock position. No indication for going for a tier 2. Let's have a look. Is he going for some evolution chambers, perhaps for some upgrades? But yeah, no such thing, as he's just droning up. Both players pretty much at the same work account, 23 army wise. Dark having more Zerglings of course, and of once again scouting the proximity from MARU, as MARU goes here for his command center. You can also see the timer here, just in case you're interested for those build orders. We also have the production tab in the upper left part in case I'm missing something. So yeah, let's have a look. Actually a second barracks for MARU. This is also switching positions here from his barracks, so pretty soon he might go for a drop with some Marines. It would be a possibility. Let's have a look. Dark also spreading this creep, but playing very defensively, just leaves those Zerglings at home, waits for MARU perhaps to do the first attack. And there is this one Hellion, just a run by, perhaps just a scouting Hellion. And yeah, let's have a look. More and more Hellions are being produced, so really soon, in case the number goes to 4 or even 6 Hellions, this could be really deadly against Dark. But these ramps actually work in favor for the Zerg, as he can nicely block those ramps with those queens, and the creep spread is really nice, making it here, connecting here those expansions in between. So nice job by Dark. Let's have a look what exactly MARU is going for. Finally for his starport, there is that add-on for the factory, and I believe there is even a second expansion here for MARU, so MARU might try really soon to land this one expansion into this point. And yeah, let's have a look what they have prepared, what the next step is going to be. They're playing really safe. Of course both of them really respect each other. MARU believed to be one of the best, if not the best Terran. Same can be said of course about Dark, next to Rogue, also one of the best South Korean Zergs. There is also Su and so on, many more talents of course out of South Korea when it comes to Starcraft or Broodwar, and of course Starcraft 2. We also see both going for their upgrades really soon. Dark already finishing those 2 evolution chambers as he's upgrading now the attack and carapace for his units. Those Hellions sadly here for MARU didn't quite make it through. Just one drone I believe has been sniped. But here worker wise, 52 workers for Dark, 43 for MARU. as here Dark still spreading this creep. Really soon he might even make it into the middle of the map with that creep highway. As now MARU finally picks up some units, so this could be really strong against Dark. Dark needs to be careful. There's a whole infantry of Marines coming towards his way, and this point is not really that well defended. Just one Spore and 2 Queens, but against so many Marines it would be really hard. The Hellions also join here the attack just to perhaps make Dark change his mind and take some Queens into this position, but of course the main attack will happen here into this expansion point. Now Dark is not going to fall for that. MARU in the meantime just sniping those Queen eggs, just stopping that creep spread, but still not wishing to engage against Dark, just respecting him so much. And yet the same can be said of course about Dark. As he's spreading here his units, he leaves some units here. Actually he did take all of those units into the other expansion point, and he's also making here his Banelings nest. So it's going to be Banelings, Zerglings with Banelings and Queens, as MARU tries of course to snipe this one hatchery, but it's going to be really hard. MARU for switching position, he's really mobile, but Dark having a nice answer against that, just a casual Spore into this location just to fend off the attack. Now at the same time Dark moves out with his Zerglings. He could engage, there's not that many units here to defend, it's just a wall off, and MARU just tries of course with his Marines to come in, but it looks like Dark is going to engage with so many Zerglings. These Zerglings will fall, but there are other Zerglings here on the map, and they're really taking down some SCVs. 7 SCVs already has been killed as the Zerglings regroup. 10 SCVs have been killed now, so MARU sadly already losing some of his workers against Dark, and even some supply depots are going to fall here, as MARU has to pretty much retreat with his main attack force, with those Marines and with those medivacs. Yeah, nice first blood here for Dark against MARU. Really nicely done, as his economy is also looking really strong. 66 workers for him, 58 for MARU, and slowly but steadily we're closing at a 10-minute mark. So Dark deciding of course to engage MARU, not allow him to expand all over the map, not allow him to have that advantage. We even have a tank out for MARU. There's a second tank here, of course, those tanks nicely hidden in the back. Hold on, we also have another push out here by MARU, but with such a small task force it's going to be really easy this time for Dark to defend, and at the same time he's also expanding here around the map. He's still on Zerglings, still on Banelings with Queens. Let's have a look what exactly he's going to be doing. He's spreading once again some units. Perhaps he might try to attack at 2 positions at once, as MARU once again builds another expansion. And yeah, we're still going to wait what exactly is going to happen. MARU tries of course with a small task force to attack Dark, and at the same time another task force to this position. So 2 groups of Marines heading out, spreading, just killing those Queen eggs, not allowing that creep spread. At the same time this task force here, but of course is being chased as Dark is also spreading his units into 2 groups, one left and one right. So really nice job here, multitasking. Both of them really nicely multitasking. And yeah, let's have a look if MARU perhaps is going to decide to regroup in the middle of the map with his units. Currently of course also on the defense here with his tanks, but Dark once again preparing perhaps an attack as MARU is moving out with his Marines. Dark also here into this position, and even here into this position, so we might see soon a strong attack out of Dark. Let's have a look what exactly the answer from MARU is going to be, as some Marines will be sniped out of those Banelings. Dark decides not to wait. He's attacking out of 2 positions in the middle and in the lower part, and here we go. All of those Zerglings and Banelings are rolling in. Other units are rolling here into the upper part. This expansion is pretty much under siege with so many Zerglings, and there's even units now entering the main from MARU really soon. The Banelings too are alive now, and this Dark just has to win this game. Of course MARU GG's out. 29 workers have been killed. So yeah, congratulations for Dark for taking game number 1. Let's just jump straight into game number 2. And we're back with game number 2, a really nice timing push by Dark out of 3 directions with those Zerglings, with those Banelings. No queens needed for him, he just decided to regroup straight into the expansion point from MARU, and then just not stopping there, just moving forward with those Banelings, with those Zerglings. MARU caught off guard, a little bit of guard with his units, with his Marines, with his 4 Medivacs out front. Now let's see what the answer from MARU is going to be here in the second game on Cosmic Sapphire. Dark spawning in the upper left as the blue Zerg, and in the lower right as the red Terran. It is MARU. Let's look if MARU is going to perhaps change his tactics. Is he going perhaps for some drops with some Hellions, with some Widow Mines? Perhaps he might go for a Rogue, for a Banshee. Could be a possibility. Banshee is really strong against those workers. Yeah, let's have a look at the build order. He might be greedy now with this fast expansion, so really nice job here by him. Not going for a barracks, just straight into fast expansion. Interesting move here, so he feels really confident. If Dark, however, would have went for a fast spawning pool, this could have been really deadly against MARU. However, MARU deciding to play it here interesting with a new opener, supply depot into fast expansion, and then barracks. Now let's have a look at the Zerg. The pretty standard stuff, fast expansion into extractor and spawning pool, just like in game number 1. So nothing here out of the ordinary, no difference here. Dark still staying to his build order, loyal to his build order, and yeah, while his overlords already heading out on the map. Of course, Dark is expecting a barracks rush by MARU, a proxy barracks, but there is no such thing, as MARU is preparing his macro-oriented game. His expansion is really fast. Barracks is about to finish. There could be a Reaper coming out, but no, it's just 1 Marine by MARU. So yeah, pretty standard stuff, as pretty soon also the Overlord is going to head out here into the main from MARU, and also find out here the expansion point by him. So really nice job by MARU making this happen. Really risky, but in the end he was betting correctly here. He was betting nice against Dark, as Dark is now really soon going out with his queens, first queens, and perhaps some Zerglings. He has also taken his second expansion point. And yeah, let's have a look. The Overlord is going to make it here really soon into the expansion, into the main from MARU. There's that factory. It might be followed up really soon by a starport, just like in game number 1. And yes, some SCVs already out just to mine more and more of those minerals. So yeah, really soon the Overlord is going to head out. Is he? Yes, indeed. Now the Dark sending here his Overlord sees now the expansion, but this might be a tricky expansion here. If he sees it, he might think that MARU might try to hide some buildings on the map, so he's not showing his Overlord. He saw that expansion, so there might be some alarm clocks ringing for him, as there is the expansion already pumping out for MARU. So yeah, Rogues just sending out those queens, just spreading that creep really nicely, just like in game number 1. And yeah, let's have a look. There's that starport. Aliens once again being built, so pretty much the same unit composition, just like in game number 1 for MARU. Yeah, actually we do see one Viking now being placed, so I guess MARU not wishing to be disturbed by those Overlords, not wishing to show his strategy here on what exactly is going to happen. There's that second expansion pretty much soon going to be finished, as yeah, the Marine is nicely patrolling here. So once again, still no early harassment in between these two pros. Some Hellions are out on the map, but not that many kills. Actually no kills at all for them, as yeah, Dark really nicely defending his expansion points with those queens. And let's have a look if MARU somehow is going to breach here through, or what exactly is going to happen. As yes, Dark is indeed sensing something out of the ordinary. He's sending out some Zerglings to scout, but still not finding anything now, as some refineries are being built and double engineering base, so upgrades will be out really soon. Dark also with his double evolution chamber here, as his upgrades will also kick in really soon for his Zerglings. And yeah, is he once again going for a Zergling Bane unit composition? Really soon we're about to find out what exactly his units are going to be, as more and more Zerglings are being produced here for Dark. One drone has been sniped out of those Hellions, and even one Viking flying here around searching for those overlords, as the expansion has landed here for MARU. So MARU also nicely walling in, but remember there could be banelings really soon. So yeah, he really has to make some tanks perhaps here into this upper part. He might have a good position for those tanks just to defend. And let's have a look what exactly he's going for. Double medivacs, some marines, and even more barracks. So he's going to transition into mass bio here. Might add some marauders very soon, as more and more infantry is being pushed out. His Hellions still out on the hunt for those drones, currently just sniping some queen eggs. The Dark once again just on the defense, but waiting of course for his timing push, perhaps just like in game number 1. There's that baneling's nest about to be finished. We're heading in at the 6-minute mark, still no main attack for Dark. Sadly also here for MARU, his Hellions not really getting any work done, not really making it here through, just sniping some queen eggs, that's okay. But yeah, the real hunt is of course down for those drones. However, Dark just nicely spreading those queens all over the place. But now we do have some medivacs, as once again MARU is heading out with his Hellions and with his medivacs. Let's have a look if he's going to be successful this time. Is he going to be able to snipe some of those hatcheries, perhaps even some of those queens, as we're about to find out. There's MARU unloading his units and perhaps going to steam up. The hatchery has been finished, so this could be really soon, but at the same time, look at that, even caught me off guard. Dark just heading here straight with his Zerglings, not being engaged here by MARU, and sadly here for MARU, this was got so much of what 10 SCVs, even 12, even 20 SCVs have been killed now, as some units even pulling here through. So MARU really caught by surprise by this attack by Dark, and 13 kills already here for Dark, even above 13. Finally the Hellbats do come back with those medivacs, but the damage has already been done. Even the banelings getting some connection onto those marines, and yeah, really great job. As we can also see, you can push back at the replay, you can see the timing, really interesting here by Dark. Make it here through. Sadly MARU not being prepared for this, even caught me off guard. All of a sudden I just saw those banelings and those Zerglings rolling in, and yes, so much economic damage. Look at that, MARU has dropped 240 workers. But yeah, we've seen some miracle happening, especially when it comes to MARU. It's really strong at coming back. His army is of course much better than the Zergs, but those banelings just suicided into those SCV, dealing really so much damage, as Dark is preparing, I believe, another wave of Zerglings with banelings. And let's have a look what exactly the answer from MARU is going to be. He leaves of course this time some units in the back just to defend, and he's also attacking now with some Widow Mines and with that infantry with Stim. And let's see if he's going to be perhaps successful, perhaps going to snap indeed some workers. We have problem, but Dark is here. However, the Widow Mines also taking nice connections. MARU has to pick up and retreat at the same time. Some banelings still somehow make it here through. Perhaps they were just borrowed and they dealt splash damage against those SCVs. Yeah, MARU slowly but steadily coming back. 44 workers for him. His infantry is still in position, as the Zerglings from Dark. Once again, just Zerglings with banelings for him, as he's also having a Hydra stand, so we might see some Hydras, we might see some Lurkers really soon out of Dark. He also has this macro hatch into his main, really interesting stuff, and a spine here. So yeah, some scans do all go out, and we finally Dark once again make it here through. Are there any defenses? Just a couple of infantry. MARU has to retreat once again with his SCVs. The Zerglings are pouring in. This time he's reacting really nice, but wave after wave is being sent, and yes, Dark is taking here game number 2, so MARU really caught off guard by that first wave of attack out of Dark, and yeah, he just has to give up. So yeah, Dark taking it. It's currently 2-0. Let's just jump straight into game number 3. And we're back with game number 3 in between MARU and Dark. Dark pretty much dominating here, MARU having a 2-0 lead against him, so even caught me off guard. That timing push with those Zerglings even caught MARU off guard as he was focusing with his infantry, with his medivacs in the front, just taken by surprise, having no defenses at home, pretty much getting crippled and handicapped by Dark, losing 35 SCVs. That was a killing blow by Dark, so nicely done by him. 2-0 currently. Let's have a look how MARU is going to react to this handicap, to this being behind with 2-0. Perhaps he's going to change his tactics. Let's have a look what exactly he has prepared for us. Currently, the pretty standard open up with that barracks, with that refinery. Let's have a look, perhaps Dark is going to change something, perhaps a fast spawning pool, but no such thing, as he's going straight for a fast expansion as well. So yeah, also pretty standard stuff by him. Also sending out those overlords. So yeah, nothing different here, but MARU really perhaps has to change something into his defense, or he has to be more careful when heading out with his units, with his medivacs, with his infantry. Perhaps he has to leave something behind, or just pretty much go for a base trade scenario. Could be a possibility. Let's have a look what exactly is he going to change. But if he's going to lose this game, it would be 3-0 and Dark would take it. So MARU really has to make something happen here, as we see Dark going for that extractor for the spawning pool. So pretty standard stuff by him. Expansion is also being prepared by MARU. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, the first Marine is also going to be out really soon by him, as the orbital is also getting upgraded here. So yeah, the pretty standard stuff once again. No harassment by them, just playing it really nicely here. However, remember Dark having that 2-0 advantage against his opponent. Some drones getting transferred here, and let's have a look what exactly Dark is he once again going for. That Baneling composition. Is he going to change something? Could be a possibility to go for some roaches, for some ravagers with a timing push. We've seen this Scarlet do a lot against Protoss, but I believe it can be done against the Terrans as well. And yeah, there's a second refinery, there's a factory, so no mass racks, no 3 racks strategy, just like Beyond has shown us against the Zergs. It's going straight into a, once again, back barracks, factory and starport really soon. Yeah, there it is. We had a pretty standard stuff. There's that second expansion for Dark, so both of them just playing just like in the previous games, just staying to their loyal to their build order once again, as the overlord sees of course the production here from MARU, those units. And once again it's going to be Hellbats, Hellions actually, for MARU, heading out with 1 Hellion, but of course much more Hellions are needed. 4, you could even go for 6 or 8 just to be sure to take out some drones, or some of those Hellions would be snapped. But in the end, if 4 make it through, it'd be really deadly against any Zerg. However, currently it's just 1 Hellion for MARU, and also a couple of infantry here for him. And yeah, let's see how this is going to happen. This time MARU deciding to move out without no medivacs, straight on foot with his marines. You also see the upgrades here in the upper left part. Speed is about to get done for Dark, and the other queens are also nicely once again connecting those hatcheries in between them with creep, as more of those medivacs are now finally picking up the units. So yeah, MARU deciding to head out at around the 4-minute mark. Let's see where exactly is he going to attack, as the Hellions have scouted the map. This could be an interesting position to attack, but it's just a couple of drones. And let's have a look. He might go for the main. Let's check the main from Dark really quick. There is no spore here to defend. Actually, there is no queens at all, and some roaches are indeed being produced now by Dark, but he could get quite punished here by MARU with his 1 Widowmine. Dark not really reacting, as interesting enough MARU just unborrowing this one mine. Now once again it's been borrowed, but a couple of drones had been killed, so just 2 of them. Interesting stuff. And of course a lot of mining time has been delayed, as the Hellions did try to push here through, but Dark has been prepared for that with some roaches. So now all of a sudden Dark could attack MARU with those roaches. Those roaches really tanky, as MARU has to retreat. Let's have a look. Does he have some tanks at home? No, he just has 1 tank is finally being produced, just a couple of infantry. So in comes the roaches. They're of course really tanky against those Hellions. With a nice micro here by MARU with his one medivac, as he's able to save so many units. Look at that, so many Hellions into red have been saved, and we even had one Banshee in the air. Of course, the Banshee, the perfect counter against those roaches. MARU, of course, pushing this wave back as Dark is going to lose those roaches, killing one Hellion before he also loses his unit. So really nicely done here this time by MARU, nicely defending this roach strategy this time by Dark. So not mass Zerglings with Banelings. He's heading into roach. I believe that Zerglings could have worked out really better, so like we've seen in the previous game. So we might see Dark transitioning straight into Zerglings with Banelings, but yeah, MARU not really intending to wait for that, as he's also pushing out with his infantry, with his Hellions. The roaches are in position to defend, and yeah, let's see, as the Hellions are also heading out on the map here. So worker wise, we see Dark at 56 versus the 49 from MARU. So yeah, let's see, this expansion is also being finished. We see more and more barracks are actually being produced now by Dark. And yeah, let's have a look at the next steps. What exactly is going to happen? Dark opting to go for roaches, but like I told you, he might transition straight into mass Zerglings with Banelings. There's his tier 2 upgrade, actually it's already a layer. What exactly are his next units going to be? We see a evolution chamber here for him, so he's opting to go for some upgrades. Infestation pit, of course the infestors really strong with that Anglers against those Terrans, also with mind control really strong, as we see a small group of Marines. They might be successful into sniping this one hatchery. The hatchery is falling really low, so yeah, Dark has to cancel that as he has been caught a little bit off guard. But hold on, the Medivac has been sniped, and yeah, Dark is just moving out this time with Ravagers, really strong unit for the Zerg, as slowly but steadily we're heading into the 10-minute mark. Those Ravagers might intercept some Marines here, and yeah, let's see, Dark perhaps once again preparing a timing push. MARU really nicely focusing his defenses into this one expansion point, and yeah, Dark just pretty much remaking his expansion here. So yeah, this time tanks it is for MARU, tanks with infantry and with some Hellions. Those Hellions could turn into Hellbats. Even one Marauder has been added. And let's see if he's going to indeed engage. There's nice defenses here for Dark. Queens with roaches, with Ravagers. But yeah, by the looks of it, MARU is pretty much going to commit. He's going to attack here, coming here through, sniping perhaps some of those eggs before he engages. Dark already microing those drones back. Such a nice unit composition here for MARU. This is now sieging up in the back. He needs to be careful with his units. Some roaches, some Ravagers are here, but the tanks are nicely being protected. However, the Ravager fireballs are dealing so much damage. The infantry is nicely kiting back and forward. Still, MARU has this one tank alive. Ravagers and roaches. The roaches have fallen already. The tank has been sniped, as MARU has to retreat a little bit, but he has caused some damage, and his reinforcements are exactly on time. So this time Dark in some serious trouble, as his Queens to fight for their life. They have to heal up. Still, MARU with those reinforcements perfectly on time. As it is before the 10-minute mark, MARU decides to be aggressive, decides to steam up, and those 2, even now 3 tanks that brought him so much splash damage against the Zergs. So a nice job here by MARU with his timing push. This is able to snipe more and more units. Even the drone have to be pulled, but this is really good for MARU, as he's going to be able to snipe so many drones. 11, even 12 drones have already been killed. Finally, Dark has defended, but at what cost? He has lost the hatchery, he has lost 12 drones, as more and more units are pouring in. 51 supply of army versus the 53. MARU with a much better game number 3 against Dark. Yeah, let's have a look how things will unfold. Is Dark perhaps going to come back from this? Is he perhaps going to change his tactics? He's still going really heavily onto Roach, onto Ravagers. And yeah, MARU just now having a good economy with 73 workers versus the 62 only from Dark. And yeah, Dark adding of course some Zerglings out, but they will be sniped immediately. And yeah, MARU once again moving out with his Marines, with his tanks, with his medivacs. Let's have a look. Is he going to be successful once again against this one hatchery? Dark this time not really being so much mobile. His Zerglings in game number 1 and game number 2 were really fast onto this creep, but this time it's much harder for him to engage with those roaches. And yeah, let's have a look. MARU is pretty much once again going to perhaps allow this hatchery to finish and just snap it. Oh no, he's heading straight towards this point, luring once again Dark in, but Dark has some Zerglings now, as he would have been able to kill all of those units, but we do see some medivacs now picking up, and once again the reinforcements are nicely on time here for MARU. So such a much better game here for him. Is at this expansion. So yeah, once again his attacking is not going to allow so much creep being spread. We do see some banelings, good connections. All of those banelings, the tanks in the back are really strong for MARU, as more and more units have fallen here for Dark, and MARU once again closing it really nicely at the 200 supply mark. Also nicely kiting those units back just to evade the Ravager balls. And yeah, now he's going to be able to snipe this one hatchery, as the tanks are also slowly but steadily moving here forward in the back with sieging up good Ravager balls onto this one medivacs, so dealing some nice damage. But Dark still needs some more Zergs and some more banelings. MARU just keeps pushing forward. He's nicely defending those tanks, but we have some Vipers with blinding clouds, but still it's going to be this time the win for MARU, as he's finally coming back. It's 2-1, so congratulations here for MARU. Much more aggressive MARU against Dark. Dark only having 90 supply of army, so yeah, of course MARU takes it. So it's 2-1. We should jump straight into game number 4. And we're back with game number 4, this time on Stargazers from the ESL. So yeah, he in the upper right in the red, it is MARU, and his opponent in the upper left in the blue, it is Dark. 2-1 it is currently. We'll just try to ignore this 0-0 score here, as Dark has the advantage 2-1. Let's have a look what exactly MARU is going. Perhaps he's going to try a proxy barracks strategy. Let's have a look. His supply depot is about to finish. 2 SCVs are out on the map, so finally MARU decides to be more aggressive against Dark. And let's just see what spot is he going to be picking here, as those SCVs just head straight here into this location. So yeah, soon this one overload is going to be really important for Dark, as he will be able to see the proxy barracks harassment. Yeah, just one supply depot here for MARU, as those 2 barracks are being produced here into this location. We also see the fast expanding Dark. There is no refinery and no spawning pool yet for him. So yeah, like I told you, this one overall, let's just check that rally point, and he should be able to find out about this, but it's going to be a little bit too late, as those barracks will be finished, so no drones can be pulled. In comes the overlord. So yeah, the one barrack is also already about to finish. This is of course nicely timed by MARU. MARU of course knowing the path, scouting pass, and by the looks of it, Dark not really going to be able to see this. So such a nice position being found by MARU against Dark. Dark is still in the dark here against MARU, as the first Marines will be finished. Perhaps if this one overlord sees those SCVs, he will be able to know that something out of the ordinary. Yes, indeed, now he finally sees them, but the first bunker is also being produced. So yeah, Dark caught off guard. His spawning pool is about to finish. There are of course no queens to defend yet. There are no Zerglings, and yeah, the first barrack, the first bunker is about to get finished really soon. Some Zerglings are being produced, as more and more Marines are also being produced here. So really nice being pushed by MARU, but at the same time, look at that, Dark taking his other expansion, so this expansion can be lost. Can afford to lose it, as his second expansion is being produced. And let's have a look at the main really quick. There is also a factory being produced, as the second bunker is also being produced here by MARU. And let's have a look how Dark is going to react to that. His first queen is about to get out as the second queen. But yeah, like I told you, he can afford losing this one expansion, as this expansion is up. That's the first queen out. Of course, Dark is going to try to mass as many units as possible. This hatchery really very likely fall here, as it's already bleeding. So yeah, Dark is going to lose a hatchery. Nice job by MARU, and a good investment here by him. He can of course salvage those bunkers even repairing them, so it's going to take quite some time for Dark to move out. But remember, luckily here for him, one drone made it here through onto this one ramp. So let's have a look what exactly the next steps are going to be here for MARU. He's going into a factory and starport, so he might see some medivacs really soon. As yeah, let's see. Actually, MARU has to punch here through this line, through the main from Dark, just to head there. And let's have a look. His barracks is in the air, just to give some scouting formation. But yeah, there are some Zerglings, there are some queens here for Dark. And currently MARU just holding here his position, his barracks, scouting everything. He will very likely notice that there is an expansion there. And yeah, there is another expansion being placed down by MARU here, interesting into this point. So yeah, the bunkers should be salvaged really soon as the Marines are retreating. Perhaps they're just waiting for a medivac, so another drop could happen into this location. But Dark is pretty much prepared for that with his units. And yeah, Dark finally going to be able to push this back. He can place another hatchery into this location really soon. Let's have a look what exactly the next steps are going to be. So a little bit of an advantage here for MARU as he's able to snap this one hatchery. And yeah, now finally MARU going to pick up some units, bring series medivacs, but there are some queens. The position is really nicely onto that ramp. The medivacs is also nicely being kited back and forth. The Marines hold their position, but still Dark is going to be able to defend this really nicely. He's going to be able to snipe so many units. So MARU caught a little bit off guard, losing those units. Sadly for him, he has to retreat. So nice defense here by MARU. Perhaps MARU didn't know that there were some military fields here into this location, as we have passed now the 5-minute mark. So still a nice defense by Dark, as MARU also going to be able to snipe some overlords with this one Viking. Now let's see what exactly is going to happen. The expansion is about to be finished by Dark, and let's see what exactly the next steps are going to be here by both players. What exactly the next unit compositions are going to be. MARU looks like once again he's going into mass Marines. He might add some tanks once again, yes indeed, just like he did in that second game. And Dark, is he going for some heavily Zerglings with banings, or is he going once again into Roach? I believe he's going to stay just like in game number 1 into Zerglings with banings. Could be of course a better choice for the Zerg, as we've seen this really much successful into game number 1 and 2 for him. Okay, let's have a look what exactly his moves are going to be. MARU just sending out some Hellions. Of course he wishes to snipe as many drones as possible, but there are queens out on the map. Let's see if this is going to be successful, as the medivac is moving here forward, and this could be a nice push by MARU just to snipe some units here. The Hellions do drop. It would be really nice. There's a Roach warrant here, but I believe Dark is going to stay onto those Zerglings, and yeah, nicely defending here against MARU's push with those Hellions. Let's see, MARU also taking some damage out of this one Spore. So yeah, good defense by Dark once again against MARU's push. Let's have a look at the workers. 61 for Dark, 42 for MARU. And yeah, slowly but steadily things have settled down. MARU is taking this expansion, so he's preparing a more defensive gameplay. He's preparing, of course, a timing push once again with those units, but he needs some time, he needs a better economy, as now nice scouting going out for Dark, as he's going to see exactly all of those production units, so he knows exactly what is coming towards his bay. He might stay onto those Zerglings, onto those banelings. And yeah, let's see what exactly is he doing. Another expansion here into this location. As yeah, the tanks are of course this time in a more defensive posture, as MARU is of course waiting an attack by Dark, but no such thing. A little bit of exposed tanks here in the front. Then again, I'm sure he knows that MARU knows exactly what he's doing, as his Hellions are in a good position this time. They're getting surrounded, however, by some Zerglings, but in the end also many Zerglings will fall here against those Hellions. And at the same time, a nice multitask here by MARU with his units, with his Marines, with his medivacs. Good defense by Dark, as he also adding once again some roaches with ravagers, so no massive amounts of zerglings with banelings, roaches and ravagers also being added by Dark once again. And we also see that one macro hatch has also been here for Dark, is being produced really nicely. Let's have a look when exactly, or if Dark is going to decide to attack MARU. Tanks are here, so tanks are really good against those roaches with ravagers. And yeah, let's have a look at the next steps here by MARU. Still on 5 barracks, 1 starport and 1 factory. Let's have a look at Dark. What exactly is he opting for? Another building is being finished, infestation pit. So we might see some infestors with some fungus, with some mind control. The layer has also been done by him. There we have the banelings. Nice, and of course banelings really strong against the infantry from MARU, and MARU is actually the first who decides to attack as we're closing at the 10-minute mark. So let's see, he's choosing this expansion point for the attack. Is Dark going to be ready for this? Let's have a look at his units. Zerglings with roaches with ravagers here to defend, as MARU is preparing his position to attack really soon against. And Dark's currently is just going to snipe some eggs, as the hatchery has been finished just in time to get sniped. Means are nicely healing themselves up, as Dark is going to hold, of course, his attack. So really nicely done here. Great defense by him. Some Zerglings just casually moving out, but yeah, MARU is very likely going to regroup or just heal up here and wait for the next moves by Dark. So yeah, let's see what exactly they are doing. Dark might try once again to attack from different fronts. Could be an interesting idea for him. He has some Zerglings in the back, he has some banelings to defend. MARU once again in the middle, deciding to deny the creep spread, and now MARU just has to pick up so many units here for Dark, as he's also closing. Actually, he's maxed out now, so this might be a good opportunity for him to attack. And as MARU has so many nice defenses here in the back, so many tanks, so many marines and marauders, just decides to pull out with some medivacs and with some small infantry against Dark. Dark with all of his masses here, pretty much controlling the middle of the map, and also having defenses at home, some spores against those medivacs. And yeah, let's see what the next moves are going to be. Finally, MARU moves here forward with a small task force, but Dark is prepared for that with his Zerglings, with his roaches. So yeah, MARU pretty much has to retreat, but he's also preparing another attack here with some medivacs. So once again, a multitasking Terran against Dark. Let's see how this is going to work out for him. And yeah, once again, defensive move here by MARU, just deciding to leave some units out. Dark also very defensively here, but his creep spread is really nice. Look at that, he's also already made it here past the middle of the map. You see, MARU is just going to scan this area, just going to try to snipe as many green eggs as possible, not to allow so much creep spread here for the Zerg. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen. It's still a very large amount of Zerglings, and look at that, Dark this time deciding to operate the transportation capability out of those overloads, and this could be a really nice drop. There are no defenses here into this location. MARU tries of course to attack here, as Dark once again in the middle of the map, but this is just a maneuver just to give time for those overloads. We have some great binding clouds, disengagement here, but the real damage is going to be dealt here against the expansion point. Look at that, so many Zerglings and banelings. Dark attacking all over the place here into this place as well. This is going to sacrifice some of those units, but like I told you, the real damage has been done here. 14, even 15 civs have been killed as the Zerglings are pouring in. Of course, the main force from Dark in the middle has been pushed back, but look at that, MARU caught off guard, even those SCVs not mining, and he even leaves some Zerglings getting borrowed here. This could be also some banelings. No, it's just Zerglings. So yeah, MARU, is he going to be lucky and scan here, as there's still some units being borrowed here, so he has to go for some turrets. So really nice job. Finally, there goes the scan, as MARU should be able to push this back. But yeah, interesting, nice job here by Dark, leaving those Zerglings board just to consume the energy for that orbital command. Look at that, MARU still scanning this location. I believe he has no idea about those Zerglings here into this location, so really nice strategy by Dark, and there's that scan. So yeah, MARU of course knows, but in the end a nice double attack by Dark. And let's have a look what his next steps are going to be. So not deciding to go for Night Swarm, going straight for Overlords, but he has to drop those units really quick, as here they are once again. Some turrets are in the air, but so many Zerglings are pouring in once again. Some SCVs will fall, there are some snipers on the map, but the real damage once again is being dealt here as Dark brings his real strong force. 33 SCVs, look at all of those SCVs clumped together. 47, even 50, and yes, of course, that's going to be the victory here for Dark. Somehow MARU just having all of those SCV massed here together into this location, and Dark just pouring over him with those banings. Really nice and lucky engagement here by Dark, as he luckily picked out all of those 56 SCVs all of a sudden. Look at that, MARU dropping to 21, so this zone right here, perfect attack spot for the Zerg, as he's pretty much punishing here MARU, and yeah, MARU just has to give up. So it's 3-1. Congratulations for Dark, this time winning against one of the best Terran there is. So nice job here by him. So yeah, like I told you, this has been played in Valencia in 2022 on the DreamHack. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. We'll be seeing, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.